For me, I got a couple goals for this year, Wendy. My first big one is completing the Dirty Dozen bike race. My goal number 2 is also bike related, and that's to do better at that Austin Rattler. You know, I suffered through it. I finished. But this year, I want to finish in the top 100. My goal is to be 95% consistent in all habits throughout. This year, instead of setting vague resolutions, try using a framework that forces clarity, accountability, and follow-up.
Hello and welcome to the Relax, It's Retirement podcast with your host, Josh Leonard, where we talk about transitioning into retirement with intent. I'm Wendy McConnell. Well, Happy New Year to you, Josh.
Happy New Year to you, Wendy. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing just dandy. How are you?
Can't complain. You know, it's the new year for us. Our Pittsburgh office moved into a new office. So a little bit behind on this recording. I typically would have liked to be ahead of time, but I think it's always good. New year, new you, right? January 1st, suddenly we're going to lose 1 million pounds. You know,
Yes.
we're going to do everything that we didn't do right last year, right?
Yeah, and you know it's odd. Somehow I'm having a very hard time getting into the pickleball club. It's full constantly. I can't even get like a spot. People are like, "Oh, I'm going to be active now."
That's right, for a month, and then they won't. So, you know,
Right.
be patient.
Yes.
I noticed at our gym on Saturday, Yana and I went to do like a class together, and the parking lot was so full Saturday at 10 a.m. that I had to park, like I joked, at the grocery store that's like, you know, a quarter mile away. It wasn't actually that bad, but I was on like the outer edges of the parking lot. Typically, I'm like second row back, right? But it's that time of the year.
Right.
I went yesterday at 6 o'clock in the morning. I could still park in the second row, you know?
There you go.
There's still like that core crew at 6 a.m. on a weekday, but 10 a.m. on a weekend, well, it's easy then, right? So,
Yeah, I hear you.
but I think that ties into our conversation today. We want to make sure that our goals are clear, right? So if it's to be healthier, maybe we go to the gym at 10 o'clock for 2 Saturdays, and then we say, yep, I'm healthier. Let me eat pizza and drink a bunch of beer and watch football, right? Because it's that time of the year, right? That's not going to fix it, right? We need to build some sustainable habits. So every year we talk about this, Wendy. Do you know the framework I'm going to refer to?
Yeah.
It's the SMART goal framework, right? We need to be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound with our goals, right?
Okay.
This ties into financial planning, right? We need to plan for these things. We can't just say, I'm going to be healthier this year, go to the gym twice, and then forget about it.
Wouldn't it be lovely if it worked that way, though?
Yeah, I know. If you could go to the gym once and just, you know, be ripped, 6-pack for one day, that would be fantastic, but it doesn't work that way. Actually, training for bike stuff,
No.
when I try to calorie count to like get everything very specific, it is very depressing. Like a really hard workout for like an hour or two, and then you're like, I ate 2 pieces of pizza and I'm neutral. That's not fair.
Yeah. Well, it is all about the food that you eat. We know that, Josh.
Yep. Diet and exercise, right? So, you know, when we think of retirement planning, we always think through, you know, our 5 pillars too. We need to make sure our income plan, our investment plan, our tax, health, and legacy plan are all lined up as well. When we're making decisions, we want to think through that as well. We want to be planning ahead. Now, with our New Year's goals, we want to apply that SMART structure, right? For us in retirement planning, it's the 5 pillars. We want to throw that over our decisions. For me, I got a couple goals for this year, Wendy. My first big one is completing the Dirty Dozen bike race. Have you heard of this thing?
No.
Okay. Well, Pittsburgh is known for having a couple hills. I don't know if you're aware of that.
Mm-hmm.
Not only missed field goals, but also some hills.
I wasn't going to bring it up.
It was an extra point, you know? Uh, anyways,
Okay.
referring to the recent Steelers game against the Ravens, we'll see who really deserves to go on here as the rest of the anyways. Pittsburgh has some pretty big hills. So one of the iconic bike races here is called the Dirty Dozen, where you ride up 13 of the steepest hills in the city.
Wow.
You in, Wendy?
Oh, Lord, no. No, 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 no. No, no, no. No, I like flat. Flat, flat, flat. I'm at the shore. Flat, flat, flat.
Boardwalk riding, right?
Exactly.
So this race isn't maybe as long as like the Leadville or other races that I've done, but it's particularly difficult because it's really steep. So some of the steepest hills in the country are in the city of Pittsburgh, and we're going to ride up 13 of them. Now that race is in November of next year, so I need to prep for it. My measurable goals there are to finish the race, which is completing all 13 hills under whatever the race conditions are. So if it's rainy, wet, and cold, you still have to ride up the same hill. And you're not allowed to put a foot down on the hill. Otherwise, you have to start the hill all over again. So if your tire slips and you slide backwards and you got to start it again.
That's crazy.
So in order for this to be achievable, I need to do some specific training, right? I need to get out to those hills. I need to be on very steep grades and start practicing that, right?
Yeah.
I've done some of this, right? I've done it in other races. I've had some similar training. So I very much feel that it's achievable. It's relevant because it's going to reinforce that discipline that I need in order to achieve my goals, right? I need to be practicing regularly. I need to get out there and push through it. Preparation ahead of time. On our last episode, we talked about my race in Austin, and I wasn't the most prepared for that. And boy, did I pay for it. So for this one, I need to focus ahead of time a little bit more, right? Do some recon on it. It is time bound because there's a specific date for that race. Whether or not I'm ready, I got to go for it. So I'll do some base training and then really start to dig into my specialty come around June of this year. I think when we look at events like this, it's funny because this race or any race doesn't really care how motivated I am or how much energy I have. It only really matters how prepared I am. At the end of the day, it's a little bit too much of a challenge to just say, oh, I can do that today. You can will your way through it, but it's not going to be fun and you're not going to perform any better that way. You need to prepare ahead of time and build up to it. So that is a big personal goal for me.
Okay. So how often are you going to need to prepare?
So I will ride the bike 4 days a week, and then go to the gym 2 days a week. So 6 days of exercise in order to achieve that goal. My goal number 2 is also bike related, and that's to do better at that Austin Rattler. I suffered through it. I finished.
Okay.
But this year, I want to finish in the top 100, Wendy. I looked at the stats, and I did really poorly. I was 7th from last place.
Okay.
I think I can jump up quite a bit there. So
How many people were in it?
214, and I was 207th place.
Okay. Well, these things happen, Josh, and now you're going to make a better attempt at it.
There was a lot of people that didn't finish, so at least I finished, but
That's true.
it'd be better to finish in the top 100. That would be a pace and everything that I would be very happy with, right? So for there's a little bit more strategy. It's not just climbing up the hills, right? I need that strategy of racing with others, pacing, my nutrition throughout. I talked about my dehydration and not really having all the right stuff with me, not the right bike, all of that. So that strategy, pacing, nutrition, preparation, equipment prep, all stuff that I need to do ahead of time. So my smart breakdown on this one's pretty simple, right? Finish the Austin Rattler 60-mile mountain bike race in the top 100 places, right? It's measurable because I got to be in the top 100, right? That is a tracked thing. I can't really debate it or go around it. Either I did or I didn't. Um, it's achievable. It builds on my prior experience. I've been on the course before. I know what to expect a lot more this time around, but it does require me to have those structured training blocks. Different than the Dirty Dozen, because that's on roads. I need to be out on the trails and work my way through the trails and make sure that my technical skills are strong enough to be able to not crash and hurt myself along the way.
Yes.
For me, this is relevant because it's moving some of my physical fitness forward, right? I've completed the race, but now I want to finish in the top 100, right? So I want to move ahead. Just like when we're preparing for retirement, we want to move a step forward, right? Whether that's increasing our contributions if we're younger, or maybe just starting to save if we haven't even done that stuff yet. If we're a couple of years out of retirement, maybe starting to think through our 5 pillars to prepare for that transition rather than, hey, I got a new boss and I think I'm done now. And then reactively trying to prep. So we need to look further ahead here. In this goal, too, I'd say it's time bound because my race is going to be in the fall. So I got to prepare. I got to be ready for it then. For this one, this goal forces me to be honest about my preparation, not just my effort. Last year, I really pushed myself through to finish the race, but it wasn't pretty. So I think there I want to be a little bit more proactive this year, be a little bit more honest with myself as to what I need to do to achieve my goal. My last big goal for this year is have some non-negotiable core habits. So I've developed a lot of good habits over the years, Wendy, and then for some reason I just stopped doing them.
Uh-huh.
We've talked about journaling in the past. I think last year through our transitions moving and stuff, I'm like, my notebook I left here, I left there, and I just like was not regular with it anymore. I used to always stretch for 10 minutes a day in the morning. I feel a lot better when I get my body moving, even if I'm not exercising or doing anything crazy, just taking 10 minutes to stretch, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then sticking with my workouts. So we talked about my bike regimen. For here, my specific goals are 6 days per week. Journal daily, stretch daily, and also making sure I sleep 6 or more hours a night. Now, if there's any doctors listening to this, they would probably say like 6 is not enough, but
Yes.
yes, 8 is probably recommended. What I find is that whenever I get off of at least that bare minimum of 6 hours, things just don't go well. I'm not efficient. I'm slow mentally. So I know that, but yet at times when I'm busy, I still violate that. So these are some of those core habits that I want to make sure that I'm sticking with this year. So rather than adding anything new, let's just make sure the stuff that I've done for years on and off that works, I'm doing it consistently.
Yeah, I like it. I like all of it.
Here, I'm going to have a weekly tracker so I can notch it off. Did I actually do this, right? My goal is to be 95% consistent in all habits throughout. So sometimes I might be on vacation. It's hard to do a specific bike workout if I don't have the equipment with me, right? So 95%.
That is a tall order.
I think so too. 100%. This is something that with our company goals and our work related goals, we had a big conversation around. A lot of times we're like, I'm going to work out 3 days a week. And then like you're sick and you didn't because you were sick, right? Which is reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, setting that percentage is helpful as well. If I'm 95%, I know if something extreme happens, maybe the kids are sick. Maybe I need to do something else that becomes more of a priority. I have a little bit, but it's not this huge deviation where I can make excuses all the time.
Got it.
Again, the goal there is nothing extreme, all stuff that I've done before, just being consistent, right? Not being perfect and everything, but just being consistent. It's relevant because it'll help me with my other 2 goals, right? If I'm exercising, if I'm resting, if I'm in a good mental space, this will help on my biking goals as well. It'll help improve my decision making, stress management, and my overall focus. These are all things that we know are good for us, right? we just don't always do them, right? So it's time bound in that I have my daily
Yes.
execution and then weekly tracking of it.
Yes.
I think my goal here is if I protect the habits, the results that I'm looking for will take care of themselves, right? If I just do these little incremental things, I'll get further in my bigger goals.
I think 95 is too high of a percentage. But that's just my personal opinion. I think that maybe 85 is a good percentage.
Okay. Okay.
I think a lot of life happens, Josh. A lot of life. And
There
you
is a
just
lot of life.
yes.
Stuff happens. Agreed.
But it's your target.
Now I'm pivoting. I need some goal out of you. What's an aspiration for the year here?
I don't really do it in that sense, you know what I mean? But you know, I was listening to some, goal-oriented podcasts or whatever, and I took two things away from the one that I was listening to that I really, really liked and want to kind of apply to my own life is no doubt and no delay. I think those are the two main things that I get stuck on when it comes to the work that I want to do and things that I want to achieve. I often doubt myself that I can do it, and I'm always delaying. I'm always like, I'll do it later. I'll do it later.
I like that. It's
Hopefully I
like
can stop
eat,
that.
eat the frog, right? Whatever your hardest task is, do it right away.
Oh, yeah, well, maybe.
Or is it more like this is aspirational, not necessary, so I'm going to do it tomorrow?
No, I think it's just a mindset. I want to keep this in mind, and I will throw out a goal. Okay. This is, spur of the moment, off the cuff.
Yes, I got it.
And it's a big one. And it's also one that you hear a lot, but I want to write a book.
Okay. That's awesome. All in a year, or you want to start writing?
Doesn't mean I'm going to have it published or what's that?
Finish it? What's the goal for the year? Like start it or?
No, to have it written. It doesn't need to be published. It doesn't mean, but to have it written from start to finish, done, written.
Oof. That is a tall order there.
Well, it's one that I've wanted to do for about 4 years now.
Okay.
It's time. It's now or never, Josh. And I'm not going to doubt myself and I'm not going to delay. I'm going to start writing.
Okay. I love it. Get it done. I will read a draft. I will read it.
Okay.
I like that. I think that's good. I think books are definitely a creative endeavor too, that it is a challenge, right? To sit down. It definitely takes a ton of time, right? You're not just going to
Yes.
sit down one day and pump out a whole book.
No.
So I like that. That's a good one. I know we were talking about pickleball too.
Yeah, no, I think you were going towards a tournament. And I really do want to win a tournament at some point. I'm having some trouble obtaining a partner.
One step, you find the partner. That's the goal, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah, all right, I like that. That one doesn't seem that.
That's easy.
Well, it's been 3 years, so yeah, it does seem hard.
This is achievable, right? Find a partner by the end of the year, and then you can win next year.
I will write that down. Find a partner by the end of this year. Got it.
I like it.
We both have good, smart goals.
I think so. By the end of the year, we got to time bound it, right?
Yes. Absolutely.
New Year's is sort of our stereotypical time when we set these goals and do it. The funny part is we can actually do it like February 13th as well, or anytime, right?
Yeah.
We can pick a time to change our habits. We don't have to wait till January 1st. I think the same goes with financial planning, right? We don't need to wait for an arbitrary date. Tomorrow is the second best day to start. The best day is today, right? If we just take any step towards that, right? Setting out that framework, working towards it. So if it's retirement and retirement planning, taking any step, just getting your finances organized, figuring out maybe what you need on a monthly basis in retirement. We meet with a lot of folks that come in and say, hey, I want to retire next year. And we say, okay, well, what do you need on a monthly basis? And they're like, I'm not sure. Well, that is step one, right? We need to know where we stand, know where our current finances are, how we're allocated, all of that kind of stuff. So just like our goal setting here, we got to get organized. We have to set those benchmarks so we know where we're standing, right? When we think of that smart structure, we need that in our income goals. If we're going to do travel, right? Another thing that we talk to clients a lot about is, what do you want to do in retirement? Right? Okay, great. You don't have to work now, but what are you going to do all day? Because watching the news is not like an enjoyable thing, right? It's not a good idea.
Not recommended.
Um, we need a project, right? I think for my dad, one of the things that he started working on, and we had talked about it prior to his retirement a little bit. It took a little bit longer to get engaged, was getting back into woodworking. When I was a kid, he had built a bunch of like wooden toys for us. Like we have like this train set. He made like checkerboard tables for family members, like cool, tangible things. And through raising a family and starting a business, you don't have time. But in retirement, now you have time. So you can develop these habits stronger. I think applying that smart framework to some of those goals or hobbies or habits that you're trying to pick up will help in retirement as well. For my dad, a big piece of him getting to the point where he could actually start doing the woodworking was setting up the wood shop again, right? Getting all the appropriate tools that he needs. He had some older tools that needed some work done to it. Kind of relearning some of the craft as well. My mom recently said, "Hey, I need this tool," and I found it, but it's like $60 online, and it is like an oven drawer puller. I don't know what the proper name is, but it's like a piece of wood with a little hook. So instead of grabbing the oven tray and pulling it out with like, you know, something that is heat insulated, it's a piece of wood. So you just grab it with that. Like your risk of burning yourself goes down drastically, right? And it's a simple tool. My dad's like, "I can make that." So he went into his wood shop, and like a day later, my mom had one, right? And he made for everyone in the family shoehorns too. Um, he was saying as he's getting older, it's nice to not have to bend all the way down. So he made like a really long shoehorn to slide your foot into your shoe.
Okay.
I'm lazy and sometimes running out the door quickly, so I use it for that, um, more than the convenience of not bending down. But building out his wood shop enabled him to be able to then build these little things quite easily. And whenever he sees a need, it's something that he's able to do. So working through our goals, our hobbies, these are all important things. We want to continue to do this throughout life. I think for all of you, whether it's a pickleball partner, writing a book, riding your bike really long distances or in challenging ways, pick one meaningful goal this year that you can achieve, right? Run through that smart framework, focus in on it. Reflecting back next year, you'll be happy that you did it, right?
Absolutely.
Whether it's your health, your finances, or your future, clarity creates confidence. And when you plan with intent, you give yourself permission to live it. Throughout the year, we're going to run into new challenges. And whether it's that 95% or 85% that we went back and forth on, Wendy, if we have something we're tracking towards a goal, we stand a better chance to get there, right?
Right.
We aim low, we're gonna land pretty low, right? But if we aim high and we work towards writing that book or finding that pickleball partner, our worst case is at least we made some progress towards it, right? If you end the year with 3/4 of a book, that's a lot better than where you are right now, right?
Don't say that to me. I'll only do 3/4.
Nope. You got to aim high. But if we miss, right? If we aim for the sun, if we aim for the sun and miss, at least we'll land among the stars, right?
Yes.
So anyways, Wendy, thanks for running through this. I love goals. I love this like long-term planning, this vision. We had our internal meeting last week with the team here at Leonard Advisory Group, and Yana and I were both like super excited. We love this kind of stuff. It's fantastic to look ahead and plan for it. I know other people aren't as enthusiastic, but there is a lot of value in it. So take some time here when it's still cold and gray outside and plan to make the most of this new year. Wendy, thanks so much for joining today. And until next time, remember to retire with intent so you can live the life you've worked so hard to earn.